The topic I'm talking to you about today is very near and dear to my heart. It is something which is there with me all the time, and as I'm supposed to give an inspiring speech and to inspire you, I've named it Let's Go Green. I consider myself a rather green person. Well, I'm still working on the hair part. And there are many, many things why I can tell this, and one of them, I'll give you just 4 points. One is that I've built, for example, an own solar system in Germany with my brother. We generate 40,000 units electricity with this through renewables, and it covers my shares then 20,000, and it covers our companies and our private electricity consumption of the year, which we generate through photovoltaic. When I lived in Germany as a young boy, I was very lucky to live close to a big town, but far enough away that there were still enough forests and greenery to be seen by us. So my parents trusted me a 2-acre garden with 50 apple trees and cherry trees in them. You wouldn't believe how nice these cherries were. They were the best cherries in the world. I had a flock of chicken, and I had ponies and animals around me. And what I did was that I looked after this garden and started to sell eggs to my mother and the apples and orchards to my neighbors. And very early in life, I found out that business and being green gels actually quite well. Healthier food habit is something that is very, very central to us, to our family. I want to tell you a story. I grew up in Germany, and as you might know, Germany is a very non-veg country. Almost every meal contains some sort of meat. We experienced, when we came to India, we had still the same habit, and we had our 3-year-old son, Niels, find out one day when he was eating that what the meat was on the plate was really a dead animal. And he loved animals, and he couldn't believe that we killed them to put them on our plate. And he kicked up a big fuss, and we are not the type of parents that let our kids push us around. But I tell you, he insisted so much that we really had to ban, for a while, meat completely from our house. And we thought a lot about it. Now we are not completely vegetarian, but I would say 80%. And as was already told in the introduction, I studied agriculture. From the age of 14, I was dreaming of becoming a tropical farmer. I had seen farms abroad, but there's nothing as exciting as being in the tropics, where you can grow anything under the sun, as long as you give it water and fertilizer and care. And when I was working in Mahabaleshwar, I realized very soon that only wanting to be a farmer is not enough. I had to learn. So I went back, studied for many years, to only realize then, because I actually specialized in agricultural economics, I realized that a farm is not a very easy way to earn your living. So in this way, I don't want to inspire you, because it is very tough. Yeah. So I went to IT, earned the money, and then in a slow phase-out way, I started the farm 10 kilometers south of Pune. So in 2001, we bought the first plots. The plots we got were really not nice plots. The local people would never part with their good soil. They gave us or sold us wasteland. And we brought, from a nearby dam in summer when it was dry, we brought the soil to the field, and we put hedges, green hedges around. We fenced it against the stray animals. And today when you see the farm, it's very nice and lush. Actually so lush that it attracts all the insects and pests in the dry season. Yeah. We use a lot of technology on the farm. I love technology. Yeah, I'm not the only one here, I think. And I think that technology can be an answer and a solution for many of our problems. We, for example, use hydroponics. Hydroponics is the way of growing plants in an inert material, so you don't use soil. You use, for example, we use cocoa peat. And this cocoa peat is in bags, in plastic bags. It stays away from the soil. The advantage is that it's very clean, very hygienic. What we grow, what we sell, is a salad, is a produce that is eaten raw. So we cannot sell contaminated things. And we cannot add cow dung or any other animal droppings. This would not be good. But there's many other positive effects. Cocoa peat reduces water consumption by 90%. And because every day we microfeed our 300,000 plants that are in the cocoa peat, we give them milliliter-wise, 5 times a day, the correct, absolute, proper mixture of fertilizers and water. And this way, technology, this is just one example, we have a lot of technology implemented on the farm, helps to produce healthy food and supply to town. Healthy food is something that is at our core. It's, as I told you, with the vegetarian food that we are nowadays consuming, we like food a lot. My wife and me cook ourselves, and we buy things of which we are convinced that they don't contain unnatural flavors or preservatives or things that actually should not belong into food. Yeah? Why should food have a color? So we produce healthy food, and I think that with this, that's at least what our customers tell me, we have influenced also Pune's food or eating behavior. And we're very happy with this, because it means that you all are giving us a reason to continue to do what we do. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to. What we also do is we invite our customers or schools or corporates or families to our farm. We call this Agri Tourism, and we invite them currently maybe once or twice a month. They come to the farm for a full day. In the morning, we give them, or the farm manager gives them a tour around the farm. He takes them to the greenhouse, to the field, shows how things work, from the sowing and the planting. The children plant their own salad, then we show them all the way to the greenhouse, where then they start plucking, or in the field where they pluck their strawberries, whatever is in season. And many parents are quite astonished that they see their children eating vegetables, which they hadn't done before. Then in the afternoon, we take them to a plot which we have forested up and serve them a farm lunch. And it's nothing special. I don't want to make a big secret of it, but it's just what we grow on the field. And we just add to this our dressings and our gourmet food, which we produce from our own things that we grow. And I must say that most people are very happy. They love to be out in the nature. So I think I'm very green, right? But actually, as a preparation to this talk today, Shonali made me think, and I thought that I have to look at my carbon footprint. And my personal carbon footprint, the carbon footprint is the CO2 released by the activity of a person or a community. And I went to this website, I'll share the website with you afterwards, where they ask you many questions about how do you fly, how many flights do you do, from which point of the world to which point, economy or business class, how do you heat or cool, what car do you drive, how many miles you do, and so forth. It is very, very easy to answer. And I was very, green and hoping to get a good result. And I must say that my personal carbon footprint is a disaster. It's the footprint of a black dinosaur. Yeah, you laugh, but I must really say it shocked me. I didn't believe that. I consume alone, I'm not taking my family into account here. I myself am consuming 8 times more than what is suggested as the maximum amount per capita on this earth to combat the climate change. So my first reaction was, as I always do, okay, let's throw some technology on it and let's maybe produce more electricity regenerative. And when I calculated this through, because I can calculate, I found out that I alone have to install around a 1 crore solar system in order to offset my whole 16 tons every year. And if I think back the 50 years that I've lived, and if I think of my family, that picture will become very worse, very much worse. So that cannot be the only way. So I also started asking myself, I'm not green enough, I'm not obviously serving my children and our world. And I said and thought, what shall we do with this world? What can we do to not leave a messed world to our children, messed up world? And we have a lot of mess that we leave around. Again, I will go only into very few details because Shonali doesn't give us more talking time. Yeah. Rampant pollution is something which is already addressed today a couple of times. I must say, I am personally so disgusted when I see this. When I go to the farm, it used to be such a nice drive out there. The landscape is beautiful. And today when I drive out there, I can tell you that in the last 10 years, Pune has crept closer to the gut, and in the night, dumpers come and throw things on the road. They dump debris, construction debris, just next to the road. Yeah? From my window, I can see how posh cars stop on the bridge over the Mulla Mutta, open their window and toss out plastic bags with their garbage. Smog and stench is there, we all know. What is very disturbing and very bad is at the pace that we are living and with the skills that we have, with ever larger machines, mining machines, machines that convert everything into mobiles and whatever we want to have at very low cost, and including more and more people on this world in this, we empty the resources that we have at an astonishingly fast pace. Yes, there's always new oil detected, but that again contributes to CO2, and it will finish one day. We have to change, and we cannot leave a depleted world to our children. But one of the worst things I find is, what I realize is that I am actually giving my own children a wrong example of life because of my consumptive and my bad carbon footprint and my life which actually depletes the resources. To go more into Pune, because this is called Inspire Pune. I was born in Pune 53 years ago, and when I was born the population was 6.8 lakhs. Today it is 50 plus. I think that's the 50 that the census people could count. It is sevenfold increase, and in this city of ours, in technology and science. And technology and science, like we heard also today, can give answers if we deploy them properly and if we choose the right ones. We believe in educational process. Why are we called Oxford of the East? We have a lot of umpteen institutes and colleges here. And the good thing about this is that this makes us all understand the world better. It educates us. It educates everyone on every level. I think there are not many places where you will find in one place so many educated people. It can be improved. I'm not denying this fact. But it's there, and it's much better than one would fear. And we have a very young population here in Pune. In India, but in Pune especially, because we attract a lot of students. It's not like in the so-called developed nations where people have 1.2 children, yeah, and I think our middle age or the average age is 55 years. So people over there do not think of the children's future. People over there are rather thinking of how do I maintain myself. They don't worry as much like we should or will. So I'm actually quite confident that we can make it. But I think what we have to do is not wait for others to do it. And we can't call politicians or PMC or I don't know who to lead this initiative and to say, okay, fine, you set it right. We screwed it up, but come on, you set it right. This doesn't work. So I think we can start with very small baby steps. One would be, why don't you do your carbon footprint? It is very easy. There are many websites. You just take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Do it together with your friends or with your family or in your company. Find out your carbon footprint. And when you find out what it is, maybe you will be as astonished as I was. Then you take a pledge to change it, because also on these sites there are many ideas how you can go about changing this. But I think the most important thing is also that we create awareness within our own circle and our family. So I will be working on my children also and telling them that the lifestyle we are leading has to change. Because 5 times 16 tons is too much. Well, I have overshot my speaking time by 2.5 minutes, so I'm not sure that I'm allowed to ask you any question or ask you to maybe contribute your ideas. Yes, I am still allowed?
I think a minute or so.
You're exaggerating. It's 2.2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes, fine.
Yes. Okay, so we have 2.2 minutes for you to ask questions or to give us your idea. There are persons running around with a microphone who will come to you. Who would like to ask a question? No questions. There's a question.
About how much area does it take to feed a family?
Depends on the technology you apply.
For you, in your farm.
Yeah, we will hear another talk today where people will tell you that it needs a very little area, because you can grow, for example, in hydroponic, you grow with 90% less water, very few nutrients, And if you have enough light, you can produce a lot of vegetables from a very small area. Yeah? I can't tell you now exactly how many square meters, but it is not much. Through hydroponics, we harvest on 1/3 of the area that we would otherwise need to put salads in. So we harvest thrice as much at much lower input. But the investment cost is high. There's no free gifts. Yeah? Yes?
Rainwater harvesting, do you do any?
Yes, but that's my biggest Waterloo. I always say, because there's no water, only loo.
Okay.
We built a tank in a nala, in a valley, which is on our property, and I blasted my way down 6 meters into the ground, took out 4,000 truckloads of stones to capture the rainwater when it comes. And first of all, we have the monsoon rains, and we can take that water into the dry season, but we also have every year, we have the summer showers, the summer rains. And in 30 to 40 minutes, more than 10 million liters collect in this hole. Now, where my problem is it was first very expensive, and second, the plastic film which we need there for arresting the water, stopping it from percolating, always tears, because no one has done a project like that before. I asked all the experts, they run away when they see my hole, and they say, no, you have to do it differently. So we still haven't figured it out how to make that plastic last, but I will make it last. And the thing is that with this, I have 15 million liters of water, which gives me 50 full days of irrigation. We need 3 lakh liters every day through the summer. So we do a lot of rainwater harvesting, and it's very, very interesting topic, but difficult.
Thank you, Marc,
Thank you.
for sharing your ideas.